Hey y'all, Joel here. Went out the other day with my rocker box to a spot here in Maine that is not known for great gold, but it still has gold. And I wanted to test a few modifications I had made to the rocker box, including a different apron and also a pump assist. So here's the video. Enjoy. Take a look at the rocker box that I used in this video. So this was one I built from lumber that was on hand in my garage probably 15 years ago. And it is based on traditional rocker boxes. I use a piece of indoor-outdoor carpet in the riffle tray. I found that using riffles tends to hold way too much material back, so I don't use any kind of raised riffles. I find that the indoor-outdoor ribbed carpet traps all the heavies there. On top, it's got the tray where I put the material in. It's got some sheet metal in there, 3/8 holes drilled in it. Now, traditional rocker boxes use an apron in this space with a saggy piece of canvas. I've never built one. I just used some wood. It's got some miner's moss and some cheap expanded that comes from a Walmart paintbrush roller. The thing you use to clean paint roller at. It's got a V down in the bottom where material accumulates. This comes out easily, and then you can see down material then falls off the back and then is washed down the riffle tray. Sometimes you'll see with people will use wire mesh in their material pan here on a rocker, and I don't do that because I like the water to pool up a little bit in there, and as you rock it you get a much better washing action. And you get clay breaks up, anything like that. I've done this one where I have set it up for a battery assist, like in the video. It's just got a float switch here that came off of Amazon. That's some 3/4 pipe that hooks into a standard bilge pump. The base for this rocker is just scrap lumber. It came from an old pallet and some scrap plywood. It's got a piece of all-threaded rod that sticks out the back and a hole in the front. The rocker itself, on the rocking part, has a hole in it that fits over that, and then it uses a pin in there that sits in there. I'll show you how it works now. It's mounted on the frame. It rocks smoothly and easily back and forth with the pin resting in that front pivot point, and then down here in the bottom where it rocks on that piece of all-thread rod sticking out. Here in Maine, we can only use mechanical pump June 15th to September 15th. So if it is after or before that time period, I'll just snip off those zip ties that are securing the pipe and the switch and use the traditional method of a ladle to scoop the water in. All right, y'all, today we are going to do some processing of the concentrates from the rocker box action the other day. I'm going to go ahead and use the spiral wheel, show you how that works here in just a minute, and we're going to see if we found anything. Catch up with you in a minute. This is a spiral wheel that I use. This is a Desert Fox from Camel Mining Products that my father purchased 25, 30 years ago, and it's always worked good. Fits in an action packer, uses a little 12-volt pump. You can adjust the flow. Now, typically these would run off of a battery. I'm using it off of a 12-volt battery charger right now, and when you're setting one of these things up, the most important thing, here's a hack for you. Don't forget the cup that the gold catches in. I started with about a quarter bucket of concentrates after running about the equivalent of 4 full 5-gallon unclassified buckets through the rocker box the other day. I went ahead and used some screens. I started with this Keen screen right here. I believe this is an 8. And this is the overs that were generated there. A rough look didn't reveal any large nuggets or pickers, which is what we would expect from that area. The screenings that came out of there went into this bucket, and we will go ahead and run those through the classifier as well. And then the last screening was this number 20 right here, and we got these concentrates drill out fine. These classifiers came from our friends at Coos Canyon Rock and Gem Shop in Byron, Maine. I would strongly recommend that you source your prospecting equipment there if you're in the New England region. I'm feeding these larger screenings in right now, and you can see we're not seeing a whole lot of heavy material moving up the spiral. I can adjust this valve right here, or I can adjust the angle of it, and that can allow heavier material to travel a little further up, a little bit less robust concentrate. These larger screenings, we don't really have an expectation of finding a lot of gold. Our hope is to find maybe some gold that was stuck to another piece that will get freed up with the action of the spiral wheel. But it's likely we'll only go through these concentrates, these screenings, one time. Well, here's what was in the cup after running all the primary screenings, and there is precisely 0 gold in there. Not a surprise. Okay, now we're going to get screening what we hope is the good stuff, and we will do some adjustments on the feed angle and rate as we get some going and see how high it starts tracking up. What we really want is to kind of make a pyramid shape and kind of come up to around there somewhat. So I may lay back the angle just a touch, and what we will do is we'll probably run these concentrates a couple of times just to make sure we get everything out of it. All right, y'all, we ran through all that material through the spiral wheel, and certainly not the richest ground I've ever worked, but there were a few flakes in there. You can see in here. So at least I know that the rocker box is catching the fine stuff. Been nice if there was a lot more of it, but gold is gold, and I'll be thankful for any that I get. Thanks.